for lack of proper example, even the total Ghana pension salary for a policeman of a higher degree or buy this Mercedes Benz. That is here that I'm saying this, that's the reality. But trading, hustle, growth, following the process from what? I didn't just say, okay, then I showed you Mercedes. Okay, yeah, guys, I said, Dodge, what's the name? Yaris, Veloster, Mercedes. Growth, right? Growth continues. Then fast forward, we just added this one, two, right? So we're waiting for the, what? Lamborghini or Bugatti or what? It will come, we're waiting for that one. So it's process, right? The most important aspect that a lot of you have been waiting for, I know that a lot of you here have various concepts, various ideology, various way you look at the market. There's always a banter, some of me involved myself, But today, I have a platform, right? And I'm going to show you my perspective of how I look at the market. So in the next few minutes, 5-10 minutes, spare me all your theories that whether you are order block or whatever, just keep it. Let me finish my ideology, right? And if you have questions to rebut my ideology, you're open to, ask a question, right? So I look at the market. I look at the market and I was asking myself, why does the market turn where it turns? You see, my simple question in my whole trading journey that I used so many months and years to answer, right, was why does the market turn where it turns? If you are a trader and you're able to answer that simple question, maybe you won't start from a Dodge. You could even buy a Benz the next few months. I'm serious. It's not to hype you up. Why does the market turn where it turns? Your why. Once you're able to answer that why, right, you would have a good perspective of when to jump in on the market, when to stay away, and then how to react when you see some of these things, right? We'll come to the trading view part, but let's talk about what? Time frame. Time frame in the market is extremely important, right? Time frame in the market. And my growth and experience in the market with respect to time frame, right, has been trading on the 1 minute, 5 minutes. It's progressive like that. It's not like I was trading on the 4 hour and somebody said, let me go and try 1 minute and switch. No, for some reason, process, I started trading from the 1 minute, like I was scalping. 1 minute, buying, taking the $1, $2, quick thing. That was my reality. That was just what I knew. Perhaps when I first downloaded a MetaTrader, which I didn't have anybody teaching me like you had this gentleman teaching you, right? I just downloaded it and I had found that I didn't even start from a demo account. That's what people think that once you start trading, start from a demo. Not everybody had that experience. If you're in 2012 and nobody's talking about Forex, you don't even know that. Let me go and practice on the demo and come back. Once you've heard about it, okay, let me put this. So 1 minute scalping, taking my $1, $2, it turns up to $70 I withdraw, and so on and so forth, right? Then I upgraded to 5 minutes. I started learning, 15 minutes, and then 1 hour, and then 2 hours, and now you guys know that for the most part, I'm stuck on the 4 hour, right? Now, there's one important adage that kind of clarify the whole aspect of time frame in the Forex market, right? One is in account language, right? Some of them would say it. I can't put that literal way, but it's like the akolagina who are obiniti masakra you understand? In the sense that you may be on the 1 minute, 5 minutes, thinking that you've seen the trend, Charlie, the uptrend is downtrend, but you're just probably in just one 4-hour candle. You understand me? Your whole uptrend trend line you're drawing is just embedded in one 4-hour candle. So the moment you switch to the higher time frame, which is the 4-hour, then you have like a good perspective of what is going on, or the daily. That this is overall an uptrend. Then there's another one which is what there are some things, right, you can see from close, but you cannot see from afar. Okay, Kojo said, let's all switch to 4-hour, let's all switch to 1 hour, or let's all switch to weekly, daily. You'll be on the weekly time frame, right? There's going to be a nice setup on the 1 hour or on the 30 minutes, but it's embedded in a weekly candle. But because you're all limited to weekly, then you miss that small move, which can also make you understand that it's a dynamism of play in the market. You cannot solely say this, even though sometimes I come as I'm always doing my analysis. Sometimes I take the luxury of switching to the 4-hour, 1 hour, seeing what is going on, and then back to the 4-hour and so on, right? So that's what I'll tell you about time frame in the market. I hope that you ponder over it, right? Resonate with it, and then consider it. Had my own fair share of indicators in the market. I've used a lot of them. Now, indicators were like a research work for me. When I was in uni, like I told you, I wasn't really trading for making the next big thing or becoming the next. I wanted to understand every aspect of what is involved in the market. Like we learned a lot. Business school, you're always giving assignment, learning. So my whole life was just about learning. So I took the Forex chapter. I'm like, okay, I might as well just learn. What is Bollinger Band? How do we use it? What does it mean? What is stochastic? Who created it? Why did they create it? How did they use it? What's the most relevant period in using that? And I tested it all out. So I had my very, very, very fair share of indicators. I'll tell you my opinion about indicators when we get into the price action part, which is like literally where we are. So having my fair share in indicators, and then I'm not going to rubbish it if some of you are expecting me to do that. They really helped me for a significant period of time until it also showed me a different reality to the market. The period where those indicators really, really helped me was especially also in 2016, 2017, where we had intense Brexit going on. Don't sleep if you're here and then you're dozing already. You're missing things that can change perhaps your trading journey. So those of you who have covered your face with your cap, I see you're writing something, but you're sleeping under the cap. I see all of you. But again, like I said, during that 2016 period, right, that 2016 period, we had Brexit fundamentals going on. UK wanted to leave the European Union. So the market was really trading on one side, a bearish going bearish. But that was my reality. I'm like, okay, this is how the market was. I was using alligator, so it's just crossing, 15 minutes. Every morning when I wake up, sell. It could sell for a whole 1 week. The next week it could buy for a whole 1 week. And when those things suppressed and then different fundamental events started taking over, the world of the market, then the market started acting irrational, properly irrational. You're waiting for the moving average to cross, then there will be one big spike. Where from this one, but after that big spike, there's going to be some small consolidation. Then there's going to be a whole drop from that big spike. But after that whole drop, it drew a Sienna crab before the indicator will come and cross. You understand what I mean? So you're asking yourself, what does it mean? I'm sure that most of you are just waiting for me to say indicators lag, but I'm saying that conditions really matter, whether that indicator is going to lag or not. And then that condition is what I've explained as well. Sometimes market, conditions, But that led me into specializing into price action. I wanted to understand that, okay, everybody's saying that price action is the way. If you clear everything from your chart, no candle, no moving average, no this thing, you're going to see it clearly. Okay, let me remove everything and then let me see. But I went into also another lengthy journey of price action, very lengthy one, because price action is a very wide, vast knowledge. for you to even consider. When we talk about price action, don't limit yourself. There's a lot of information involved in you being a trader and wanting to use price action as a strategy, right? But I took the pain, right, myself, took the pain that, look, even though I've had all this fair share of deep going up and down, reading tons and tons of book, I'm not going to just make it that difficult for anybody that wants to learn under me, right? So I'm just going to really take price action for what it is and break it down into the most easiest, relatable way of interpreting it, right? So for anybody who has been here taking my sniper session, you realize that what I usually put 5 major topics, right? That's just what I teach, just 5 major topics. But today we're not going to even delve into the first one, which is the top-down analysis, because that's not really what we're about to do. But the 5-1, the next 4, right? The next 4 really has, it's like you would call it like the mother, right? Where we have all the other subsets of price action taking place, right? The next 4 topics, these are everything that has, price action and direct. The first one, right? The first one, which most of you may have had your own touch on it because it's also on my YouTube, is what market structure. Now, people use structure in various strategies, not relating it to trend line, not relating it to Fibonacci. Understand that all these 5 things that I've listed, the 4 things, right? Market structure, trend line, Fibonacci, candlestick. They don't come as a package, They are not a package. They are not one. If you see me right now, they are independent things that people use. All they know is trend lines and channels. They draw one line, connect it here. Some people they draw here, connect it here. Everybody can just relate it however they want. Somebody to their own candlestick. You see some reaction, you see it goes up, you see another reaction, it goes down, and they tell you that technical analysis don't work. But candlestick is part of technical analysis, And then we have, like I said, people also using structure to also, denote, what's the name, demand zone, supply zone, and all those things. Say, okay, I use market structure to trade, right? Then I ask myself that, which is still seeking the answer, right? You cannot explain market structure on every chart here. It's only theory. That's the fact. You cannot take any chance, okay, let me use market structure, and going higher, lower, lower. You reach some point, you even know if it's higher or lower, Like it's all over. Big spike, okay, so you say higher, you have to break the low and then do this. Master, where are we now? You are lost, But you have to understand that sometimes it can play perfect, and sometimes it can be all over, But when it is all over, perhaps it is fulfilling another one. Maybe that big spike is approaching some pair touch of the trend line. Maybe that big spike with disrupted market structure is approaching some support level. Maybe that big spike is approaching some support level. Maybe that big spike is approaching some resistance. You understand me? So you have to always treat that whole thing as a package. You understand me? That is like that started really bringing reality into my mind in the market. Other ones that we'll talk about, right, is correlation, cross-referencing, but still on the matter of what market structure, right? This leads me to, the reality of the things we have seen on the market, right? It's the reality of the things we see all the time on the market. Let me use a trading view to show you guys some few stuff. Now, I definitely know that there are so many, how many beginners? I want to really play on the level of everyone so that some people don't just fall off and feel like, trading is so complicated. Look at all the terms is mentioned, market structure. How many of us genuinely don't know anything about trading but are here today? Be honest with yourself because it's going to help you. Genuinely don't know anything. How many of us are intermediate? We know something, but we are not really there yet. Okay, we are intermediate. And how many of us, like, we know? That one, nobody's raising their hands. But that's fine, So, yeah. From this, I know that there are not much, because that's the survey. There are not much people who don't know anything about trading yet. I can see from the whole survey, the crowd, that okay, some of you have a fair share of the market. You just want to understand how does this guy see what he sees and stuff like that, you know. So I'm not going to say something and consider it like maybe it's too deep. Some people don't understand. Come down to some people's level, right? Because it's just less than a fraction of people that don't really know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Give me a minute. Let me just set up my internet.